What we have here, guys, is question 16, okay? This is on 2.8. Now, what you're looking at here is number 16. This line here is parallel to this line here. What does that automatically mean about both lines? Same what? Same slopes, okay? Now, what you would have done recently was that you would have said that if they're the same slopes, what you would have done was you find the slope of each one of them, you turn them, then you compare, you put them equal to each other. That means they're the same. So I'm going to move the 10 and the 3x over to the other side, and what do I get? 2y equals minus 3x plus 10. Then what's y on its own? And we know y on its own?
Y equals minus 3 over 2 plus 10 over 2.
Plus 10 over 2. Now what's the slope of this one?
Minus 3 over 2.
Slope of this one is minus 3 over 2. Okay? That means that the slope of this one should also be
Minus
3 over 2. Let's find out. Move the 8 and the tx over the other side, and what do we get?
Minus 2x plus 8.
Minus tx plus 8. And what do we do with the 4? Y equals minus t over 4x plus 8 over 4. Now guys, what we're comparing here is we're told that both slopes are identical, right? So this will mean that minus t over 4 is the same thing as?
So minus t is minus 3.
So minus t over 4 is the same thing as minus 3 over 2. Now here's what we need to do. We need to find out what t is. So we move the 4 to the top. Or what we could have done was, I suppose what we've been doing recently is you can cross multiply it and you can get that minus t equals minus 3 multiplied by 4 all over 2. Minus t equals minus 6. T equals plus 6. Another way we might think of it, that's the cross multiplication method where you bring the 4 up to the top right. I think the way we've been doing fractions recently, I think we've been more inclined to say, what denominator do I have to give the right hand side to have the same denominator as the left hand side? 4. So multiply top and bottom by 2. Get rid of it, the bottoms. And then we get minus t equals minus 6, and then t equals 6. So there's two ways of doing the same question, but we've been more inclined to give it the same denominator and cross it off. Has anybody got any questions about that one at the moment? Lads, in the next type of question, okay, imagine that in question 17, now this isn't exactly the answer, but it's going to be similar to the answer. Imagine I tell you that two lines are perpendicular to each other. The slope of the first line is, I don't know, 3 over 7. The slope of the next line is, no, I have to make up a letter, okay, so we say, okay, 14 over x, for instance, okay. Now, the rule is about this is that, remember, this one is perpendicular to the first one. They're not parallel this time. So in the first question, I'd put them equal to each other. But in this question, it's different because it should be perpendicular. What slope is guaranteed to be perpendicular to 3 over 7?
Minus 7 over 3.
Okay, minus 7 over 3. And if we say that the other line is perpendicular to that one, that means that this also has to be minus 7 over 3. Now, in a case like this, guys, you're probably going to have to cross multiply this time. Okay, so we're going to bring the x up here and the 3 up there. And what we're going to get is 14 multiplied by 3 equals minus 7 times x. 42 equals minus 7x. And how do we get x on its own?
Minus 7 over.
Divide by minus 7. And we get x equals 42 divided by minus 7. X equals minus 6. So the answer for that question would be x equals minus 6. Or a similar question to this, you'd get t equals minus 6. So that's what's going to happen. It's very similar to 17, okay? Now, moving on from that, we had the harder version of, what's this, 0.9, okay? It's very similar to yesterday, okay? So I'll do number 5 is the hardest one, okay? L is the line 3x plus 5y minus 10. Line K contains the point minus 2, 0, and K is perpendicular to L. Find the equation of K. Can anybody in class tell me how to do that question? In this question here, what most of you said is correct. Everybody works on this one first. You get y on its own, and you get something else over the other side. So, for example, in this question, you should get minus 3 over 5x minus plus 10 over 5. You find out the slope, yeah? Once you find out what the slope is, then you realise that the slope you're looking for is perpendicular to this one. So what you have to do then? So you only use a slope of minus 5 over 3. You're asked for the equation of K. What is K in this question?
It's a line.
It's a line. So you need to use the equation of a line. Okay, so you can see the language is different, but the question is the same. Yeah. And then your slope is going to be minus 5 over 3. And what's your y1 and x1 value?
Minus 2. 0.
Minus 2 and 0. And that's how you do that question. Nothing you haven't done before.
Is it not 5 over 3?
No, it's here. It says it's perpendicular, Sam.
Yes, so
It's already a minus
5 over 3.
Oh, sorry, plus 5 over 3, excuse me. So when you turn this upside down, change the sign, it's plus 5 over 3, you're dead right. Now guys, number 6 follows a similar pattern. In number 6, you would once again, you find the slope of the line using this part first. It asks you to find the equation of line L, so it's y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. What's x1, y1? Anybody?
Minus 3, 1.
Minus 3, 1. How do you find the slope? By getting y on its own. And once you get y on its own, you find the slope. Do you use the same slope or a different, or turn upside down?
Same.
And how do you know use the same one?
Parallel.
It says the parallel sign right there, so use the same slope this time around. Okay? Alright guys, last stuff we have to do today. Okay, we have a good 12 minutes left. Anytime you have the equation of a line, so for example in question 3, everybody just look up this one. Anytime you have the equation of a line, so for example you're looking at this one here, what you do is, this represents line A and line B. Line A and line B, unless they're parallel, they'll always have a point at which the lines cross at. Okay? It's called the point of intersection, this part here. So what it's going to ask me to do is find the point of intersection. It's simultaneous equations. So bring the 3 to the other side, bring the 1 to the other side. You get 3x minus 2y equals 3, x plus 4y equals 1. Now, does anybody remember how to do simultaneous equations?
Yeah. Multiply the top one by
Bottom by 2.
by.
No, just
Top 1 by 2.
I was going to middle.
Okay guys, top 1 by 2. What top 1 by 2 is we're deciding to get rid of the y's. Now to get rid of the y's, we got to compare 2 to 4. And we say, if that was minus 4y, they'd both cancel. So that's why we're actively making the decision to multiply by 2. So we're going to get 6x minus 4y equals 6.
Did you do 3?
You could multiply the bottom one by minus 3, get rid of the x's. Sean?
I thought you were supposed to multiply the top one by 4 and the bottom one by 2.
That will also work. That will also work. Okay? Now, once you add them down, you're going to get 7x equals 7. And then x equals 7 divided by 7, which equals 1. Once you find out what so this means that this part here is 1. But you still need to know what the other slot is. So, in order to do this, we have to find out the y values. So, how do you find out the y values? What do you do? Sub in for x. So, we're going to get 1 plus 4y equals 1. Bring the 1 over the other side. We're going to get 4y equals 1 minus 1. 4y equals 0. 4 times what number is 0?
0.
0. So, there's your answer. 1, 0. Okay. Yeah.